Each voice network cable gets terminated to one of these 110 style punch-down connectors on the voice modules. The voice network diagram tells me exactly which cable goes to which connector. So I'm simply going to follow the network diagram and take cable 1A from the master bedroom and terminate it to connector number 1 and then work my way across.
To terminate the cable to the 110 connector, you'll need a TP cable jacket stripper and a punch-down tool with a 110 blade. A punch-down tool is used to firmly insert an individual wire into an insulation displacement contact. The contact cuts through the wire insulation, making a good connection with the copper. The tool has a removable blade with 2 ends. You can use either the wire cutting end or the non-cutting end. The wire cutting end lets you punch down and cut off the excess wire with one punch.
The first step is to strip off about 2 inches of insulation using the cable stripping tool. This tool ensures that you won't nick or damage the wires. Start with the orange or green pair, using the color codes on the connector. With the blue color contacts on the left, the white wire of each pair goes on the left. Keep the distance and pair untwisting to a minimum between the jacket and the contacts. Place each pair into the insulation displacement connector groove by hand and force them firmly in place. Then punch down the pair with a punch-down tool. When finished, it should look similar to this.
Rich first applies the new trim-out labels, then carefully measures and cuts the cable to the correct length, then strips the insulation and punches it down in the right order. And finally finishes up with the last voice line. He then terminates the primary incoming voice line from the NID on the surge protection module. We'll wait till the cables are tested to interconnect each voice module. At each outlet location, we're going to be installing jacks on the TP cable and F connectors on the coax cable. Now the first step is to remove the cable from the rough-in ring or box and inspect the cable for cuts and damage that might have been caused by the sheetrocker. Then you want to cut the cable between 12 and 18 inches, relabeling if necessary. I'm going to go ahead and cut these, relabeling them first. The tools you'll need to install the cable on the modular jack are the same as you used for the 110 connectors. First, strip back about 2 inches of insulation using the cable stripping tool. The TP jack uses a similar type of 110 style insulation displacement contact. The jack has color coding to indicate the correct wire color for each contact. Be sure to use the A color coding on the jack. Start with the blue pair, untwisting it down to the jacket. While keeping the jacket as close as possible to the connector, apply the blue pair to the blue and blue-white color-coded contacts. Next, install the orange pair to the orange color-coded contacts, keeping the pair untwisting to a minimum. Next, install the green pair, pushing them down on the insulation displacement contacts and keeping its untwisting to a minimum. Then finish with the brown pair. Now, when you punch these down in the field, it really helps to have something like this plastic surface to punch down on. Never try to punch a connector like this down on the sheetrock or on your hand. Very easy to slip and cause some permanent damage, either to yourself or to the customer's home. If you need to install modular plugs in the distribution panel, you'll also need a plug crimping tool. As before, strip off about 1.5 to 2 inches of insulation. Separate the 4 pairs into the order green, blue, brown from your left to right, with the orange pair on top. This will make untwisting easier and keep the wires in the correct order. Carefully untwist each pair down to the jacket. Smooth out the twisting in each wire by pulling the pair through your thumb and index finger. Reorient the wires of the orange pair by placing the orange-white wire between the green and blue pair and the orange wire between the blue and brown pair. Hold the wires flat between your fingers in the order from left to right: green-white, green, orange-white, blue, blue-white, orange, brown-white, and brown. Keeping the wires in the same order, carefully bring them together, rubbing out any twists. The next step is to trim the pairs while holding them between your fingers to 1/2 inch. The next step is to apply the trimmed pairs into the RJ45 configuration plug. Now the plug has a series of plastic channels to guide the wires, and it has a series of copper contacts that we're going to crimp down and insulation displace onto the wires. Take the trimmed wires, guide them into the plastic channels on the plug so that they line up with the pins properly. Push them all the way in until they go underneath the copper contacts. The next thing you're going to do is use the crimp tool. You're going to crimp these contacts down, and when you finish, you should be able to see the wires actually crimped into the contacts. Check the plug to make sure the contacts are